That's the wind being productive, but drivers have been urged to take care as stormy weather with heavy rain and winds of up to 70 miles an hour sweeps across the UK. Weather warnings are still in place across the south of England and south of Wales. Our correspondent Dan Johnson has spent the day in Newquay and has sent us this report.
At Heathrow, the problem was getting down on the ground. Even for those with the biggest of wings. But in Cornwall, Arthur and Ada were desperately trying not to lift off.
It's very strong and windy.
I think your brother's getting blown away. We've come out to see the waves. We said they'd be as big as a house, didn't we? They're pretty big.
And a quiet beach was Peter's chance to strike gold.
5p, 10p, 2p's. When we come down from the Midlands, we're on holiday. We can't sit in a caravan all day. You might as well come out and get soaking wet and find some things.
The winds are absolutely relentless. It's gale force at times, and the storm is bringing in these really heavy downpours too. They're also pelting us with hail. Here on the North Cornwall coast, the problems so far have been limited, but there are hundreds of properties that have been left without power.
And spare a thought for Josh and Jamie on a camping holiday that's blown them away.
Just hit us all of a sudden. We had to get kids out of the tent, flatten it down. His tent was totally demolished within the space of an hour.
The worst should be over, but they're not the only ones hunkering down again. Tonight, in a caravan. Dan Johnson, BBC News, Newquay.
My word, time for a look at the weather now. Chris Fawkes is here. Any idea when those winds are going to die down?
Very gradually overnight, Clive. But before we get there, we'll take a look at some incredible footage of mountainous seas pummeling the coastline of West Cornwall. These images were sent to us by Chris Brown. The size of the waves were expected to be 8 metres high, the same height as 2 double-decker buses stacked on top of each other. And Storm Noah, named by the French authorities, has actually been causing some problems with winds gusting well over 70 miles an hour, a top gust of 96 in the Needles of the Isle of Wight. Now, we've had reports of over 17,000 people being cut off from power supplies in parts of Cumbria and Lancashire from this storm. Heathrow's had problems, and there are reports of some trees down on the railway lines west of London. So certainly worth checking before travelling if you're planning a journey tonight.
Now, just before we go, Storm Noah has brought winds of up to 75 miles per hour to some parts of the country. Coastal areas in the southwest were worst hit. Hundreds of properties left without power. The storm has brought down trees across roads and train tracks, and major motorways were also closed.